Yeah, so good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to PPS Lab Sessions. Look, in last lab session, we had gone for the understanding part of how computer works, right? We have seen how hard disk works, what is RAM, what is cache memory, how processor executes your means how processor receives your data, why we need RAM, ROM, cache memory, and so on. We've understood the internal structure of hard disk and SSDs also, how SSD works and so, right? Now today we actually want to dive in to the C program language. Okay, so well in lab session we will be lecture session we will be starting the second unit in the upcoming lecture. And if we look at the program here, so if I display the program experiment list at this place, then you can see that first program is all about writing a program for calculator, basic calculation processes, plus, minus, into, divide, and so. We haven't seen this thing yet in the lecture. So we want to dive into the C program, but we haven't covered anything yet in the lecture part. So therefore, today what we are going to do is in this lab session, first we are going to have a look at what all the different softwares are available which we can install and then run or write the C program. So I'm going to make you aware of all those different ways of having C support in a system, in a laptop, desktop, or wherever. If you are working with mobile, then also I'll tell you how you can write your code in mobile phone. So first of all, we will go for that entire process. We'll have a look at all available platforms, softwares. I'll also tell you from where you'll find it, and we'll give you some articles to follow if you want to install those things. Now, once we are done with that understanding part, next thing is we are going to have our first program, Hello World program. Just we want to print Hello World on the output screen. That's it. So with that, we will understand what is the structure of a C program, right? What is actually the structure of C program that we need to follow. And with that basic example, Hello World program, we understand the structure of a C program and few basic things. What is main, what is printf, what is stdio, and so on. Now that's what we target today, right? That's all our target is. Then I'll give you your time to set up your environment and try your first program, Hello World, at your place, in your system, right? That is our aim to achieve today. In a next lab, we will be starting this first practical, right? So let's say we want to have our C program, and it's a programming language, so we do require compiler for that, right? Because C is a higher level language, computer does not understand it, so we need to translate that high level language to low level language. And for that, whatever translator we require, we call it a compiler here, and it's a C compiler we require here. And then at the end, program is nothing but a text code, text file. You can write your program in any text editor, even Notepad, Notepad++, VS Code, any other text editor you can use. But once you have a compiler and you know how to access that compiler functionality, then you will be able to compile your code and then you can execute that code. Now, at some point of time, you may also see some IDE, so Integrated Development Environment, IDE, which provides everything inside a single program, single software. It provides you editor, it provides you compiler, it also provides you executor, and so everything is inside that one. That's why it is called integrated development environment. So you may also find IDEs. So let's say you want to have this support, then you can simply Google Turbo C. Now, if you are using Windows, okay, if you have Windows operating system, then you may go for Turbo C. This is one option, okay. I'm not saying that you need to install this thing. This is one option. You may go for this one. So you simply search on a Google Turbo C or Turbo C++, and you'll have initial results like how to install it in Windows 7, 8, Windows 10, and so on. So you follow one of these articles. Let's say if you go for the first result article, then it says how you can install Turbo C or Turbo C++ in Windows 7, 10, or anything, whether it is 32 or 64-bit. And step by step it gives you the instruction. So if you look at here, this is kind of an algorithm: step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6, and so on. So if you want to perform this task, if you want to install Turbo C, then this is the algorithm you need to follow, right? Excuse me. So what we need to perform first we need to have input. We need to have this software. We need to download this Turbo C++ from this link. So you go and download this file. Then it says if you have already installed Turbo C++ on your computer, then you should uninstall it first. Now once you uninstall that thing, then whatever file you have downloaded, you extract that file, so that inside the extracted folder you will have setup.exe file. You run it and follow the setup instructions, next, and so on, right? And complete your installation part. If any error occurs, then you may go for this solutions available at this link, right? So this tells you how you can install your Turbo C++ IDE inside a Windows-based system. And then how to use it. Once you install it, it will be there on your desktop. So double click on that Turbo C++ link and it will show something like this one. And then later you'll have this blue screen available, right? So this is where you can write your code. On this blue screen, you can write your code, and then on the top menu, you can do whatever you want. You compile that program, you run that program, you may debug that program, you may search or edit something inside your code, and so on, right? So this is one way. It is making use of DOSBox, because earlier Turbo C was a 32-bit Windows-based system program. If you want to use it on a 64-bit and the latest operating systems, then you need to go for DOSBox. So, well, this DOSBox is already included inside the file that you have downloaded. You just need to follow next, install, done, and ready. So this is one option. You can install Turbo C. Okay. There is another article which also gives you some other steps how to install Turbo C on a Windows 10. So this is also following MS-DOS, DOSBox. So you go and download that file, then follow these installation steps, and you'll be ready. You can download those files from this link. Okay. It also gives you how you can download steps, then installation process here. And it also gives you a few alternatives. If you don't want to go for Turbo C++, then you can go for other C++ environments like Eclipse. We will see that Visual C++, or CodeBlock or CodeLite, and so on. These are other alternatives you may use if you don't want to go for Turbo C. Okay. So the first option is we may have Turbo C++. Now let's say if you don't want to go for Turbo C++ installer, you may go for simulator or emulator also. So you can search Turbo C emulator or Turbo C simulator, and you'll have another softwares which you can install, and you can run your C code there, right? Now you are already using Visual Studio VS Code, okay, Visual Studio Code, VS Code. Now, if you want to have your C compiler inside your VS Code itself, then you simply search VS Code C compiler, and you'll have one article. Now, this article explains how you can have a support for C++ program in VS Code. Okay, first of all, you need to have one extension, C++ extension for Visual Studio Code. Okay, now you install this extension, then it gives you support for all IntelliSense and help and error kind of support in that editor, Visual Studio Code editor. So you install that extension first. So that helps you writing the code. Now, additionally, you will require a separate compiler, okay, for C language here. Additionally, you will require, because VS Code does not contain C++ compiler. So additionally, we need to install this compiler. Now, it may be GCC compiler, okay, or G++ or CLang, any of the compiler you can install as per your need. In Windows system, maybe you can install MinGW64, and inside that you can have a GCC compiler. Okay, all the steps are given in this article, and once you install it, you should verify that thing properly. Now, once you have VS Code already, then you have C++ extension, and you have compiler. Then you may go for your first program, Hello World. Okay, so you create your folder, then open VS Code, create one first file, and inside that file you write your code. Now this example is a C++ code. We will be writing C code. So C and C++ both are different, a little bit different, okay? So, well, but when you install C compiler, it supports everything. So you write your code, and then from VS Code, you build your program. From terminal, run build task. You select your compiler from the drop-down list, and then you execute. So you will have your output in the terminal. Okay. So that's another example, another option to have a C++ support in VS Code. Look, VS Code is very nice editor. I also use VS Code for web development tasks like this way, okay? But for running C++ program, it needs some additional supports and tasks. Okay, so that's one option. Now let's say you don't want Turbo C, you don't want this Visual Studio Code, then you may install Code Blocks, okay? This is an IDE. It is integrated development environment. So when you install Code Block, it will contain everything inside, right? Compiler, executor, and everything. So you can write your code inside this software. You can debug, you can compile, and you can execute C code from this software itself. So another option is you may install Code Block. So for that, you just go to download section, download the binary files, then double click, run it, follow all the installation steps, next, and so on. And this icon, Code Block icon, will be there on your desktop. Fine. So then you double click, run it, and open this Code Block. Now, if you are using Code Block, then it won't be that much easy. Create a new file, save it C, program, and on. Look, in Code Block, you need to create one project, and inside your project, you need to create one C program file. So a little bit of one-step lengthy process. Now, how to create a project, and inside that, how to create a C file? You can simply YouTube or Google. In YouTube, you'll have plenty of video examples to start with Code Block. Just start with Code Block. एक बार आपने C फाइल बना ली तो उसके अंदर कोड लिखना जो है वो हम सीखने वाले हैं in this language, in this semester. Fine. So another is Code Block. You can download and install Code Block, and then you can run your code. Well, if you don't want to go for Code Block, then you may go for Eclipse also. Eclipse IDE. Now this is also IDE. So go to Eclipse Foundation official website and download required softwares, and then just run that installer, follow the steps, install it, and you'll have Eclipse icon on the desktop. Run that software, create a project, and then create your C file. So you have Eclipse IDE for C++ also. So all these are the options that you may follow. Look, if you are following Windows operating system platform, then you may go for Turbo C, or you may go for emulators, or you may go for VS Code, or you may go for CodeBlock, or you may go for Eclipse IDE. Okay. Now, if you are using Linux operating system, then look, Linux already has GCC compiler inside it. So in Linux, you will have GCC already built in. You need not to go for any other installation. You can write your C program using any of the editor. And once you write it, open your command line terminal. From that terminal, you can fire GCC command to compile your code. It will generate executable code, and then you can execute that code from terminal itself. So that's also possible without having any extra installation in Linux. You can compile and run your C code. Okay. Still, if you want to install some nice editors, then in Linux also, you may go for VS Code. You have an option for CodeBlock, or you have an option for Eclipse, right? So in Linux, you may go for any of these editors or IDEs. Well, now if you use Mac operating systems, okay, then in Mac you need to have Xcode command tools. Then GCC is included there, and once you have that GCC, you may use VS Code, or even you may have Eclipse, or let's say you use the Mac OS default editor, programming editor, Xcode. Then Xcode has a full support of C, C++ code execution, executing, right? So those are the different language, or sorry, those are the different now still, if you feel that, sir, I don't want this complex process of installing something and going for all those steps, then alternate way is to go for online C compilers. Okay, you simply search, or you simply Google online C compiler, and you'll have plenty of the result, number of websites which provides you online C compilers. Well, regardless of any operating system, you can use these online compilers in just a browser, any of the browser you use, provided that you have a working internet connection, because it requires internet connection to access. So if you are using Windows, Linux, Mac, or even if you are using phone, your mobile phone, then also you can open these websites in your mobile phone itself. You can type your code and you can execute that code in that website itself. So if you open some of these websites, online compilers, then those are, let's say, online GDB website. You open this website from the search result. It looks something like this one. You can write any language code. You need to select that language first from this list, drop down list, and then you can write that language code at this place. You write it, and from this top menu, you have a run button. You can run that code, and your output will be at the bottom of your screen here. Right? Now there are other editors also, like let's say Programmese. then it supports Python, C, C++, and Java. Let's say we select C and we write our C code at this place. And then if we click run, then it is going to give me output on the right side at this place. So this is another website. Third one, JDoodle is there, where you can write your C code at this place and you can execute it by clicking this button, and you can see your result at this place. There are a number of other websites like Paiza.io. You write your code, then you run your code, and you'll have your output at this place, right? So all these are the online C compilers. Online, which means it is nothing but a website where it provides you some kind of editor to write your code. When you run it, it is actually going to send this code to the server. Server will actually compile, execute, and do every task, and it'll generate the output. And then server is going to send that output back to the client so that we can have a look at that output on our screen. So nothing is going to be done on our system, our browser page. Everything will be compiled, executed on the server side. So we need not to install anything here. अगर आप ऑनलाइन सी कंपाइलर यूज करते हो तो आपको कुछ भी इंस्टॉल करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. And as long as you can access these websites in a browser, तो आप अपने मोबाइल के ब्राउज़र से भी ये वेबसाइट एक्सेस कर पाओगे और अपने मोबाइल से भी कोड लिख पाओगे, right? Now, there are few benefits. Look, if you install a particular compiler and software or IDE inside your system, तो फिर आपको हर वक्त इंटरनेट कनेक्शन की ज़रूरत नहीं रहेगी. You can work offline. Fine, you can work offline. अगर ऑनलाइन कंपाइलर यूज़ करते हो तो आपको इंटरनेट चाहिए. But there are another benefit. Let's say if you use online GDB, then you can log into your website, this website. Maybe you sign up or you use any of these social accounts. एक बार आप लॉगिन करते हो तो आपको सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स यहाँ पे दिखेंगे जो आपने पहले बनाए हुए हैं. So when you write your code and you save it, तो ऑनलाइन GDB के सर्वर पे आपका कोड सेव हो जाएगा. So that you can access your code from anywhere. अपने लैपटॉप से, अपने डेस्कटॉप पे, अपने मोबाइल में भी वो कोड आप खोल पाओगे. वंस यू लॉग इन टू दिस वेबसाइट, आपको सारे प्रोग्राम मिल जाएंगे वहाँ पे और आप अपने प्रोग्राम कहीं से भी एक्सेस कर सकोगे. सो दैट्स अनदर बेनिफिट. अगर ऑनलाइन है तो कहीं से भी एक्सेस होगा, ऑफलाइन है तो उसी सिस्टम में आपको जाना पड़ेगा, राइट? So there are plus points and minus points of both the ways, both the options. Whatever you want to go for, you can. Now, look, when I was having Windows operating system, I make use of Turbo C emulator and I use code block. Now, when I was using Linux operating system, most of the times I have GCC compiler inside, so I go for terminal options, or I use code block or Eclipse editor. Nowadays I have Mac OS, so I mostly use Xcode here, or if I want to explain a small bit of code to student, then I mostly use this online compilers, because we can write our code, a small code directly here, have a look at the output, and as long as I'm having an online session, I do have internet connection, so I can use these websites here. Yeah, so that's what the different platforms you can have. अब आपको जो सही लगता है, जो आपको कंफर्टेबल लगता है, आप वो यूज कर सकते हो. ओके, मे बी इन अ स्कूलिंग यू हैव ऑलरेडी सीन सी लैंग्वेज, और उस वक्त आपने टर्बो सी यूज़ किया था, आपको टर्बो सी अच्छा लगता है, यू कैन फॉलो दैट थिंग. आपने मे बी कोड ब्लॉक यूज़ किया था, आप कोड ब्लॉक यूज़ कर सकते हो यहाँ पे. इफ़ यू नो अदर प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेजेस एंड यू आर फैमिलियर विथ Eclipse, आप वो भी यूज़ कर सकते हो यहाँ पे. अगर आप वेब डेवलपमेंट करते हो, यू आर कंफर्टेबल विथ VS कोड, आप वो भी यूज़ कर सकते हो. इफ़ यू डोंट वांट टू इंस्टॉल एनीथिंग, अगर आपका लैपटॉप या डेस्कटॉप जो है वो पुराना है, आपको कुछ भी वहाँ पे इंस्टॉल नहीं करना है, then you can simply go for online compilers. Now that depends on you. I'm not a rigid guy here. Look, you can select any of the platform to develop your code. But एक बात में मैं clear हूँ, I've given you all possible options. डेस्कटॉप है, लैपटॉप है, कोई भी ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम है, कुछ भी है, मोबाइल है, टैबलेट है, कुछ भी है, आप अपना सी कोड लिख पाओगे. सॉफ्टवेयर इंस्टॉल करो या ऑनलाइन यूज कर लो. दैट्स व्हाई आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू एक्सेप्ट एनी ऑफ द एक्सक्यूजेस लेटर कि सर मेरा सी कोड रन नहीं हो रहा है, मैं सॉफ्टवेयर इंस्टॉल नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ. आई डोंट वांट एनी ऑफ दोज काइंड ऑफ exceptions or any kind of problems from your side. आप कुछ भी करो, IDE चाहिए तो इंस्टॉल करो, ऑनलाइन चाहिए तो यूज़ करो, कोड ब्लॉक डालो, Eclipse डालो, whatever you feel comfortable with, you go for it. But I want your program perfectly running and I want your output to be on the screen. Fine? So you have plenty of options here. Well, so let me go and have a look at the queries here. Well, Shivani is in a waiting room. Can't be that case because you all are in this meeting right now. Yeah. Abhishek is asking, we need to install the compiler or we can perform the code in online compiler. Well, you can use online compiler, Abhishek. In that case, आपको कुछ भी इंस्टॉल करने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. और अगर आपको ऑफलाइन वर्क करना है तो आपको भी एक एडिटर इंस्टॉल कर लो. फाइन. Well, that's all. So all those are the different options you may go for. Now before I stop this recording, let me explain a C program structure and a simple program. I'm going to delete this code. Look, all these websites will give you the basic C code ready. Okay, ये तैयार आपको मिलेगा. यहाँ पे कोई भी ऑनलाइन कंपाइलर में जाओ, आपको वो कोड तैयार मिलेगा. Now you can run that code by just clicking on this run or execute command. So you run it, it is going to compile your code and then it will run that code. So आपको यहाँ पे output मिल जाएगा. Okay, so it prints hello world. अगर दूसरे ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म पे जाऊँ और इसको मैं रन करूँ, मुझे राइट साइड आउटपुट मिलेगा hello world. If I run this code, execute, then it gives me the output here. Sum of x plus y is 35. Okay. If we run this code here, then we click on this run and it is going to run that code, compile it and run it. And then it gives me the output here inside the bottom screen of my part, bottom screen part. Yeah, so different ways. Most of the times I'm going to use this online editor. So those who use mobile screen or mobile as a device, they can be much familiar. They may be much familiar once I explain how we can write and use these platforms. Later on, maybe I'll be using another option, Xcode, or directly going for terminal, compiling and execution, right? But for initial time, let's say we will use I am going to use this online compiler. जो कोई भी मोबाइल यूज करता है उसको भी सारी प्रोसेस समझ में आ जाए. Well, we don't want this code, so let me delete this entire code at this point right now. And what we will do is we are going to write our entire C program from the scratch. So first of all, you need to verify that language is C in this drop down list. And you have main.c file. So this is the file. When you save your file, it must have extension .c. Okay. So you have main.c file. Now, when we start writing our C program, generally it is going to have a number of sections here. Head section, okay. Then there is a part which is a global declaration section. Okay. Then there is a main section. Then there is a subroutine section. Subroutine or a function, we can say. So there are number of sections in your C program, and this is the sequence we should follow this one actually. So let us see what those are. A head section where we are going to have our header files. What header files are, I'm going to explain that in a bit of time. Then a global declaration section. So अगर मुझे कुछ ऐसा रखना है कि जो मैं कहीं से भी एक्सेस कर पाऊँ, I want it to be global, तो वो मैं यहाँ पे लिखूंगा. Then I'll have main section. So this is where your program execution will start. Generally, it is going to be void main in Turbo C. Okay. In code block or in online platforms or anywhere, it is going to be int main. Okay. So this is your main function, main, as name suggests. Your program execution will always start from main. Look, I'm saying execution, not a compilation. तो main के अंदर जो है, look how to write that main. Main is a function, is a special function, क्योंकि execution यहीं से start होता है. And generally when we write a function, तो हम पहले function का नाम लिखेंगे और फिर parenthesis. ये parenthesis actually define करते हैं कि ये function बन गया. And then you have curly bracket opening and closing, which defines the body of this function here. तो इसके अंदर आपको जो भी कोड लिखना है आप लिख सकते हो. And then there is a subroutine or a function section. अगर extra function आप बनाते हो, then you can define those functions. Right now, we are not going to focus on this subroutine and a global declaration section. ये दोनों हम बाद में डिटेल में देखेंगे. तो अभी हमें क्या करना है, मान लो कि आप मेन के अंदर खुद का कोड लिखते हो. What you want is आपको आउटपुट स्क्रीन पे एक मैसेज प्रिंट करना है. नाउ हमें नहीं पता है कि हम आउटपुट स्क्रीन को एक्सेस कैसे कर पाएंगे. हमें नहीं पता है कि हम वहां पे कुछ ना कुछ लिख कैसे पाएंगे. वी डोंट नो दैट. बट टू परफॉर्म दिस टास्क, सी के अंदर एक फंक्शनलिटी ऑलरेडी डिफाइंड है, printf. नाउ जब ब्रैकेट लिखता हूं parenthesis, you should understand that this is a function. Now as I said, it is inbuilt. तो ये एक पहले से डिफाइन किया हुआ फंक्शन है. अब सी के अंदर ये फंक्शन है, लेकिन कहाँ पे है, हमें ये कोड जो है, ये प्रोग्राम जो है, उसको बताना पड़ेगा कि ये printf उसको कहाँ से मिलेगा. अब ये printf जो है वो एक हेडर फाइल के अंदर ऑलरेडी लिखा हुआ है. Excuse me. And that header file is stdio.h. .h indicates it's a header file. And stdio means it is standard input output header file. तो ये जो printf फंक्शन है वो ऑलरेडी stdio.h फाइल के अंदर डिफाइंड है. तो हमें उसको लिंक करना होगा हमारे कोड के साथ. And we can do that in head section by writing hash include, then angular brackets, and inside those angular brackets you write your header file. Okay, so what we do here is we write hash include. तो ये स्टेटमेंट जो है वो अपने कंपाइलर को बताएगा कि चलो ये हेडर फाइल का कोड जो है वो यहाँ पे लेके आओ, so that आपके प्रोग्राम को printf फंक्शन मिल पाए. Okay, so we bring that code and we have that function. तो ये फाइल के अंदर printf का कोड ऑलरेडी लिखा हुआ है जो आउटपुट स्क्रीन को एक्सेस करके मैं जो भी मैसेज दूंगा वो प्रिंट कर देगा. सो लेट अस पास अ मैसेज हियर. तो ये जो पैरेंथेसिस है उसके बीच में आप एक स्ट्रिंग लिखोगे डबल क्वोट करके. सेट ऑफ कैरेक्टर सीक्वेंस आप लिखोगे, उसको बोलते हैं स्ट्रिंग. सो यू कैन राइट हेलो वर्ल्ड मैसेज हियर. Okay, so now what is going to happen here is we include some of the functionalities that we want to use. मुझे printf यूज करना था तो वो मैं लेके आया. देन अपने मेन फंक्शन के अंदर मैंने वो printf यूज किया और वहाँ पे एक मैसेज पास कर दिया. तो ये प्रोग्राम क्या करेगा, इस मैसेज को स्टैंडर्ड आउटपुट स्क्रीन पे प्रिंट करेगा. So if I run this code, we are going to have that message on the screen here, hello world. Now, when I write this double slash, it is actually comment. Okay, it is only a comment. So all these double slash lines are comments. तो C compiler जो है वो ये सारी comments को neglect करेगा. उसके अलावा जो भी लिखा है उसको वो compile करेगा. Now this hash include, hash sign indicates it's a preprocessor. Okay, this one is a preprocessor. So इससे पहले कि आप ये प्रोग्राम को कंपाइल करो, ओके, कंपाइल करने से पहले ही आप ये फाइल का कोड उठा के लेके आओ और यहाँ पे डाल दो. ओके, so you bring stdio.h file code and you put that code at line number 3. अगर ये फाइल का कोड 100 लाइन का है तो वो 100 लाइंस जो है वो यहाँ पे आ जाएगी. तो एग्जैक्टली हमने तो 14 लाइन का कोड लिखा है, लेकिन व्हेन वी गो फॉर कंपाइलेशन प्रोसेस वो 14 लाइन नहीं, वो मे बी 114 या 214 लाइंस कंपाइल करेगा. व्हाई? बिकॉज इट इज ऑल्सो कंपाइलिंग दिस हेडर फाइल. So when I click on this run button, it is going to fetch this code and then it is going to compile this entire code. Line by line compile होगा अपना code. So पहले ये compile करने जाओ, लेकिन ये तो comment है, skip that part. फिर इस फाइल के कोड को compile करने जाओ, then आगे आके अपने main को compile करो, main के अंदर ये printf को compile करो. Now when I say compile, तो वो क्या करेगा, हाई लेवल लैंग्वेज को लो लेवल लैंग्वेज में कन्वर्ट करेगा. मतलब जब भी आप कंपाइल करते हो आपको लो लेवल लैंग्वेज का कोड मिलता है, वो एग्जीक्यूट कर सकते हैं. एंड व्हेन वी एग्जीक्यूट दैट कोड, इट इज गोइंग टू गिव अस दिस आउटपुट. इट इज गोइंग टू प्रिंट दिस मैसेज. ओके, so that's what the entire C program is, a basic structure and having one message on the screen, on the output screen. Yeah, now we can have as many number of printf statements as we want. It's nothing but a function. We can call that function. Right, अगर मैं एक से ज़्यादा printf function यहाँ पे लिखता हूँ, sorry, okay, and if I run this program, वो पहले execute होगा, मतलब compile होगा and then वो execute होगा. पहले हमें hello world message मिला from the first printf. Then we have second printf hi ed1 class, so we have hi ed1 class message. Now look, printf is going to print everything in a single line. अगर आपको न्यू लाइन चाहिए तो आप स्लैश एन कर सकते हो. मान लो कि हेलो वर्ल्ड प्रिंट करने के बाद आपको न्यू लाइन चाहिए तो स्लैश एन लिख दो एंड देन यू रन इट, तो हाई ed1 क्लास नई लाइन में जाएगा. सो इट विल क्रिएट अ न्यू लाइन लाइक दिस वे. Okay, so that's the basic example of printf and a basic structure of your C program. ग्लोबल डिक्लेरेशन और सब रूटीन वाला पार्ट हम बाद में देखेंगे जब हम सी लैंग्वेज करेंगे. देन some point of time we are going to use these sections. Now, just like this stdio.h, you may also have conio.h if you are using turbo C. Okay, sorry. You may have conio.h if you are using turbo C. अब turbo C में एक console input output .h करके फाइल है जिसमें से आप CLR SCR फंक्शन यूज कर सकते हो जो आपकी आउटपुट स्क्रीन को क्लियर करता है. ओके, CLR SCR इज गोइंग टू क्लियर योर console IO screen, but that is available in turbo C only. अगर आप कोड ब्लॉक यूज करते हो तो वो नहीं मिलेगा, GCC में नहीं मिलेगा, ऑनलाइन एनी कंपाइलर इफ यू आर यूजिंग आपको वो नहीं मिलेगा. So if I write this and if I run this code, it is going to give me an error, undefined reference to CLR SCR. Okay, right? So if you are using online compiler, code block or something else, you need not to use this thing. If you are using turbo C तो आप वो यूज कर सकते हो. Right, so this is the output. Well, so that's what I wanted to convey. So हमने बहुत सारे ऑप्शंस देख लिए. हम सॉफ्टवेयर इंस्टॉल कर सकते हैं, IDE इंस्टॉल कर सकते हैं, या तो फिर हम ऑनलाइन कंपाइलर यूज कर सकते हैं टू रन राइट एक्सिक्यूट अ सी प्रोग्राम. आप कोई भी यूज कर लो, इट्स योर चॉइस. प्रोग्राम रन होना चाहिए और आउटपुट आना चाहिए. ठीक है. नाउ व्हाट इज अ सी प्रोग्राम स्ट्रक्चर? तो सबसे पहले आप हेड सेक्शन या इंक्लूड सेक्शन लिखते हो जहाँ पे आप हेडर फाइल्स को इंक्लूड करोगे. जैसे कि ये stdio.h है, conio.h है, उस तरह से और भी काफ़ी सारी हेडर फाइल्स ऑलरेडी सी के अंदर है जो अलग अलग फंक्शनलिटीज़ हमें प्रोवाइड करती है. there is math.h, there is string.h and so on. Right. So whenever we need those functionalities, we are going to include those files. जैसे कि यहाँ मुझे printf यूज़ करना था तो मैंने stdio.h को ले लिया. अगर मुझे मैथ रिलेटेड कोई फंक्शंस यूज़ करने हैं तो मैं math.h ले लूँगा. अगर मुझे स्ट्रिंग रिलेटेड कोई फंक्शंस यूज़ करने हैं तो मैं string.h ले लूँगा, एंड सो ऑन. तो देयर आर नंबर ऑफ हेडर फाइल्स. धीरे धीरे जैसे ही हम ये सी लैंग्वेज सीखते जाएंगे मैं आपको ये हेडर फाइल्स भी बताते जाऊँगा. So first of all, we include header file, and then inside our main we write whatever code we want to perform, and then we execute this code to have the output on the screen. Now this is what the syntax is for your C language statement. आप C language का जब कभी भी कोई एक statement लिखोगे, like this one, you are going to have semicolon at the end. लास्ट में आप क्या करोगे? सेमीकोलन डालोगे. नाउ दैट सेमीकोलन इज गोइंग टू इंडिकेट दैट यू आर डन विथ योर स्टेटमेंट, और नीचे आप दूसरा स्टेटमेंट लिखने वाले हो. Okay, now if you forgot to write this semicolon sign, let's say you forgot to do that semicolon at this place, and if you run your code, then it is going to give you the error like this one. Regardless of any platform you use, turbo C है, कोड ब्लॉक है, Eclipse है, ऑनलाइन कंपाइलर है, कोई भी है, अगर आप इस तरह से कोई मिस्टेक करते हो तो वो आपको एरर देगा. मोस्ट ऑफ द प्लेटफॉर्म्स आर गोइंग टू हैव द सेम काइंड ऑफ एरर. तो ये क्या बता रहा है कि main.c फाइल के अंदर जो आपका मेन फंक्शन है वहाँ पे एरर मिला. नाउ टू बी स्पेसिफिक, इनसाइड दैट मेन where, so again if you see main.c colon 11, so this 11 is the line number, colon करके 5, Now that is the column number, line number and column number आपको मिलेगा. So line number 11, so this is where the 11th line is, and column number 5, so P is the 5th column. उसके आगे 4 space है यहाँ पे. So 5th column is P, 11th number line. यहाँ पे error मिला उसको. Okay, what that error is, it is expected semicolon. उसको semicolon चाहिए था before printf. So यहाँ पे उसको semicolon actually before printf it requires semicolon. तो उसके आगे इस लाइन में तो कुछ नहीं है, तो आप उसके आगे की लाइन नंबर 10 लास्ट में printf के बाद semicolon है नहीं है. So we forgot that thing. So this semicolon should be actually at this place. So that explains, it gives you the self-explanatory errors. Whenever you have error, do not panic, read that error, try to understand it, and then go to your code and try to find that problem. Resolve that problem and run your code one more time. So I have written this semicolon at this place, and if I run this code now, तो मुझे आउटपुट में मैसेज मिल जाएगा. सो दैट्स द सिंटैक्स. printf ये इनबिल्ट फंक्शन है तो पैरेंथेसिस चाहिए, उसको हम एक मैसेज डबल क्वॉट में दे सकते हैं, तो ये मैसेज दे दिया, और एट द एंड ऑफ द स्टेटमेंट डोंट फॉरगेट टू हैव सेमीकोलन साइन. So that's how we write our C program. So I'll stop at this place right now. Now just post your enrollment numbers in a chat box on enrollment number. So this session is being recorded and I can record your enrollment numbers for attendance. So quickly post your enrollment numbers in a chat box. Need not to give name. Name is already there in the chat box. Just just give your enrollment number. Yeah, so quickly post your enrollment numbers. Then later I'm going to stop this recording because we don't want to have unnecessary recording part here. What you can do now is it's your turn now to set up your environment. आपको अपने लैपटॉप या डेस्कटॉप या कोई भी सिस्टम में जो भी सॉफ्टवेयर इंस्टॉल करना है आप वो इंस्टॉल करो पहले. Turbo C, VS Code, Eclipse, CodeBlock, Visual Studio, whatever you want to have. If you are comfortable with that, you install it. And then write your first C program, Hello World. Or instead of Hello World, you type your own name, your full name on the screen. Okay? So that's your task right now to perform. अगर आपको कोई सॉफ्टवेयर इंस्टॉल नहीं करना है then you can use online websites. Okay, you can use any of the online C compiler and you can write your code there. If you want to share your codes to access later on or to access from any of the platform, any of the device, you can create your account on those online C compiler platforms. Well, so go for it and set up your environment, write your first C program code and update your status in the chat box. I'm going to stop this recording now, but we all will till the end of this session. If any point of time you feel there is any problem, you have any error, just ask me, we will solve that error and continue the process. Okay, so perform your task now.